My name is Arjuna Ardhak. I'm the author of The Translucent Revolution and several other books. It was in the winter of 2004 that my old friend Mickey Carlham returned for a visit to India. When he told me he'd found the keys to perfect enlightenment, it was hard for me to explain to him just how not interested I was. I've been visiting India since I was in my early 20s, spending a good deal of my life chasing after the elusive enlightenment, and I thought I was really done with all that. But here we are, back in India, and let me tell you how it happened.
So I've spent the last months talking to people involved in Diksha all over the world. I've done considerable research. During this time, I've been able to collect questions from Diksha givers, from skeptics, as well as people who are enthusiastic. And today, I have the opportunity to bring these questions that I've collected to the founder of the Oneness University, Sri Bhagwan. He's agreed to conduct an extensive interview covering all of these topics, and I've also been given the very, very rare opportunity to also interview his wife and the co-founder, Amma. Let's go in now and meet Sri Bhagwan and hear more about Diksha. What is Diksha?
Diksha is the phenomenon where the divine reaches out to man. And the person who's giving Diksha is making himself or herself available to the divine, and he becomes an instrument. It looks like in the last 2 years there's been greater divine intervention in human lives. And that is the phenomenon of a Diksha. Probably the best word to use would be the word phenomenon. It's a phenomenon.
Could you explain the significance of subjective experience during the Diksha?
I think there are basically 3 factors involved. One is the person receiving the Diksha, and the other is the person giving the Diksha, and the third is the divine itself. Because we have noticed sometimes people whom we thought would make very little progress, making dramatic progress. We have had instances of people sleeping through courses and become enlightened. So we really cannot comment on the person, So it also depends on the person who's giving the Diksha. And then there's, of course, the divine, which is the ultimate source of all this. And whatever the divine decides, it happens. We have had people whom one might call immoral people, or people who are not the right kind of people to receive Diksha. But they ended up as the most transformed people. So there's really no way we could judge on those matters. But we can, as a rule, say that it depends upon how receptive you are, what your beliefs are, and what your conditioning is, and the quality of the person giving the Diksha, and above all, what the divine chooses for the day and for the person.
So what can we say to somebody who is receiving Diksha but not feeling bliss or not feeling love, feeling unpleasant memories or unpleasant feelings?
Yes. We would recommend to them that they must continue the Dikshas till they get a breakthrough. So this is often a cleansing process, and very soon they will be out of it.
Now you also said, I think I've understood that you said the Diksha itself has a kind of intelligence.
Yes.
That it knows where to go.
Yes.
So then it seems to me that there are actually 3 things occurring.
Yes.
There is the intelligence of the Diksha and where it wants to go.
Yes.
There is also the intent of the Diksha giver and the intent of the Diksha receiver.
Yes.
Now what happens if all of these don't match up? If the Diksha intelligence is going one way but the intent is going another way, which one will be senior?
The Diksha would be senior.
Yes.
But the effect is reduced up.
I see.
Now let us say you are a doctor and you know that the arteries have got to be opened up. That is your intent. Now, how to open up the arteries, you have no idea. But Diksha's intelligence knows how to open up the arteries. So it works.
I see.
And suppose in case you do not know, still they would open up, but may not be fully,
I see.
So your strong intent that all these arteries must open up. then the Diksha goes and does exactly that. How it does that? It has the intelligence.
I see. So could you give some tips
Yes.
for how to create good, effective intent?
For that, the heart has to flower.
Yeah.
You have to learn to listen to the other person, really feel for him. Somebody comes and tells you about his financial problems. You must put yourself in his shoes, see what exactly he's suffering and what his wants are, and then you begin to empathize with him, And then only you must give the Diksha. Not straight away jump and give a Diksha, You must take your time, listen to him, meet his family, begin to feel for him, and then go for the Diksha.
Yes.
The heart plays a key role.
Yeah.
If you merely take it into your head,
Yes.
but there's no warmth in the heart,
Yes.
the Diksha is not going to be really effective.
Yes, I see. But when you speak of big heart,
Yes.
some Diksha givers may feel, I don't have a big heart. How can we make our heart bigger?
For that, he has to go and receive a Diksha for getting a big heart.
I see.
Because a Diksha can really open up the heart.
Yes.
And then you go back and give Dikshas.
And if you want to have Diksha to really open your heart and feel much love, you should have Diksha from someone where you can feel their heart
Exactly,
is open, they
yes,
have love. I
that's
see.
that.
That's
Yes.
very interesting to
Yes.
see. Yeah. And if you want to have Diksha to make more money, then
Yes.
Diksha from Tony Robbins would be the best.
Would be the best. Yes.
I see. And some others are really inferior Diksha givers.
Yes.
Is this a good way to look?
If the Diksha giver himself or herself is enlightened or on a very high state of consciousness, the Dikshas are in fact very different. And there are Diksha givers who can put you into a state of love, those who could put you into a state of joy, those who could put you into a state of silence. So we have different specialist Diksha givers here, in fact. So the person who's giving does really matter.
Do you feel that there is anyone who should not receive Diksha at all for some reason?
Basically, we cannot judge people, If you bring to us somebody and say, look, this person is the devil himself, we are certainly not going to judge him. So in that sense, we have never felt this person should not be given Diksha, that person should not be given Diksha. But we have felt that maybe this person is more qualified to receive than him, That kind of thoughts we have had. But certainly we have never condemned anybody and said this person is no good, We just cannot think like that. It's not possible.
Bhagavan, when someone is receiving Diksha, maybe for the first time or after a few times, what is the best disposition to bring to the Diksha? For example, you mentioned already intention. Is it always good to bring an intention to the Diksha? Is it good to have some silence before the Diksha? Is there some way that we can help the Diksha to be effective through the right disposition?
If people are open-minded and if you have fairly good relationships, especially with your parents, then Dikshas are bound to be very effective. In case you had a bad relationship with your mother or father, the Dikshas seem to stop halfway. It doesn't seem to work beyond that unless we again work on you and set right the relationship and once again repeat the Diksha. So from experience we have found that the most crucial factor is one's relationship with one's parents. If that were fine, the Dikshas are really powerful.